Today I will show you how you can crash your Instagram feed just by editing your photos on the phone with the Snapseed app and make them stand out even more. So let's roll that intro. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another really fun episode. You know that these days we have our phones with us basically 24/7. So that means that wherever we go, wherever we travel, we always have at least two things with us, and that's our camera and our editing app. So today I will show you how you can use the Snapseed, one of the most famous editing apps, both for Android and for iPhone, to make your photos even better, to make them stand out even more, to step up your Instagram game, or to just have better photos for your Facebook or any other social platform. So all you need to do is to go to App Store or Google Play Store and download the Snapseed, and the game can start. So let's do it. Okay, now you can open your Snapseed app, and before you start editing your photos, make sure that your screen brightness is set all the way up or almost all the way up, because you want to see your highlights and shadows properly. And another thing, if you're using iOS devices, make sure that your night shift mode is turned off, because you don't want to have it on to have this warmer yellowish tone on the screen, because you will not see your colors properly. So turn it off while you're editing your photos. If you have similar equivalent thing on Android phones, turn it off. Okay, now that you're set up, you can just go back to Snapseed and click on this big plus icon to open your photos. So it will open the gallery and you can choose any photo from your gallery that you want to edit. So let's start with something simple. Let's start with this one, for example. This is a really nice photo that I took when I traveled back home from Lisbon, and it's part of the airplane and some beautiful clouds. And for example, if I want to put this on my Insta story and to write like I'm traveling back home, or whatever I want to put on my Instagram feed or Facebook, I want to make it a little bit better. I don't want to put it like this. It's okay, but it can be much better. So let me show you how you can do it. First, let me walk you through some options here. You have looks, tools, and exports. So looks are basically some predefined filters, some presets that you can use, but I never use it because I want to make my own edits. Then you have tools, and you have a bunch of tools here, so we will not go through all of them today because there are a lot of them, and you can use it in several different ways. So I will just go with some basics. Let's use Tune Image, the first tool on the top left. So let's click on that, and by scrolling with swiping with the finger up and down, you can change what kind of tools you want to use inside here. So you have brightness, contrast, saturation, ambience, highlights, shadows, and warmth. So basically all are straightforward except maybe ambience. Maybe you're not familiar with that. Ambience is a great tool. It's like artificial intelligence tool that will equalize the brightness on your photo. It will open the shadows, and it will make highlights a little bit darker, and overall it will equalize lightness. So that's really good, and I almost always start with that. So let's go with the ambience and crank it up all the way to the right. Not all the way, but a lot, like 60 or so, so it's much better. If you long press on a photo, you will see before and after effect. So this is before and this is after, so you can see that the light is a little bit more equalized. Then I like to go to the contrast and add a little bit of the contrast and open the shadows a little bit like this. And that's basically it. So I will stop here and say okay. Then I will press tools again and go to the curves. Curves are so powerful tool. And in Photoshop too, of course, you have my tutorial that what you can do with the curves in Photoshop. Basically, you can make all the edits just with the curves, and you can find it here. But here we'll just go with the basic stuff. So I will add some contrast using the curves. But before that, you can see here down you have a lot of presets, a lot of filters that are made with the curves. So you can use them and change them if you want. But again, as I said, I like to use my own. So I will just tap here and make highlights a little bit brighter and shadows a little bit darker. So I will add that contrast, and then I will click on this first circle icon to go to other tools of the curve. So we have red, green, and blue channels, and luminance. Luminance will affect only luminosity of the image. It will not change the colors. That's really important. I don't want to use it right now. I want to use a blue channel and just tweak this lower left corner a little bit up. Just move it a little bit up. This is too much, but I want to show what is going on. I will add some bluish tint to the shadows. And then I will go to the reds, okay, red channel, and remove red. If I'm removing red, if I push it all the way to the right, I will add cyan. So I'll just remove it a touch like this and add some reds in the highlights right here. So this is before and after, maybe to reduce it a little bit like this. This is look that I really like. So I'll press OK, and this is much better. So overall, before and after. Now let's go to the tools again, and let's go to the drama. So the drama filter, it's crazy. It will ruin your photo, but I will show you really nice trick how you can use it really nicely. So if you swipe up and down, you have basically just two options. Filter strength, you want to crank it all the way to the 0, and then saturation. I want to boost saturation a lot, like 40 or so percent, maybe even more, and then go to filter strength and just crank it a little bit, few, maybe 5, 6 or so. So this is really nice. If you press OK and show you before and after, wow, so good result. Before and after, really good. Now I can go again to tools and maybe to rotate here and just rotate the image by swiping left and right to straighten it up like this. Press OK, then go to tools again and crop. I just want to crop it a little bit. You have a lot of aspect ratios down there, but I just want to use this free one and crop it like this to get rid of this window, maybe like that, and I will press OK, and you can see, guys, now before, not so, it's okay-ish photo, but not so interesting, but now it's much better. So a lot of pop of the colors, of the contrast. You can even go further and go to tonal contrast right here. So now it's too big, too strong effect, so we can lower it, but before and after that effect, it's really nice. And overall, before and after, really effective way to impact your images right from your phone wherever you are. So let me show you another example. Let's open another photo and let me show you what you can do right here. So again, I will go straight to the tools, tune image, and start with the ambience, crank it a little bit, open the shadows, then go to the brightness, make overall photo brighter, and then add a lot of contrast here. So I will have something like this for a start. So before and after, it's already much better. I will say okay, then I will go to the curves and I will just repeat almost everything that I did before because I like those kind of looks. So I will go on the blue channel, put the blue a little bit up, then go to red and remove the red a little bit to have that cyanish look, and then go back to blue and add some yellowish to the highlight. So that means that I will pull the blue down because yellow is opposite of the blue, and go back to red and add some reddish tint. So this is before and after, already much better look before and after. And we can play now and add some other things. For example, we can go to the brush. This is really nice addition. In the brush, you can dodge and burn it, you can change exposure, you can change the temperature and saturation. So if I zoom it, you can see the circle that will represent our brush. And if I go to exposure, I can change if I want to make it darker with those arrows or brighter for those amount 0.3. I will make her brighter for 0.3 value, and that's really nice. With 2 fingers we can zoom and move photo and just brush here, and let me see, make this brighter like this, and this part too. So now if I show you before and after, you can see I just made her brighter before. Let me show you before and after, and here I messed up in the right corner down below, so I can just go with eraser exposure and that's it. And I'm satisfied with that. I will press OK, and this is already much better photo than what I started with. So before and after, but let's turn this into black and white. I think that this photo will look great into black and white. So let's go and choose black and white. As you can see, really good. But now let's go and add a contrast like this, then add a brightness. So just play with this contrast and brightness and find that sweet spot of that. I like it this way, and you can add a grain. So let me zoom it to see. you can add that grain like noise, but I don't like it in this photo. So this is really nice. And guys, let me show you now before this little bit boring photo, and now it's much better. And now you can do some other crazy stuff. You can go to tools, and all the way down you have a text option, so you can add some text. For example, you just need to double click on the text, but let's go all the way left to a line, to a simple line text, and double click there, and let's type something. Let's type enjoy the life, for example. Enjoy the life. Okay, and here it is. Here's the text, and we can change the color. Down below we have opacity slider. We can change the opacity, we can change the color. So let's make it a little bit darker. This is really nice. And here we can change the font style, etc. So there are a lot of things you can do here. So enjoy the life. But let me show you something really cool. So you have a lot of these options, but this one, for example, if I zoom it all the way across the whole photo and go here with the opacity, I can change the opacity, make it something like this. This is cool. Or I can go and invert it. If I invert it, I have this, and this is another cool option. So I can now go and lower the opacity right here and have this kind of photo. So if I'm satisfied with that, I can go and change the colors. So guys, you have all the colors that you want for your design to do whatever you want. But because this is black and white photo, I will stick with this color and just lower the opacity like this. And let me show you, before it was like this, but after we have much better photo. It's more impacted to the eye. So if you put this kind of photo on Instagram, it will have more views and more attention, etc. So this is okay, but this is much better. Okay, let me show you another example what you can do with this crazy good app. Let's open another photo. Let's go and choose, let me see. Let's choose, for example, this one. This one is not bad. So as you can see, this is really nice photo of my friend sitting on the wall in front of the castle. So it's really nice, and she can put this on Instagram without problems. But we can make it even better just by tweaking few small things. So again, let's go to tools, tune image. Let's go to ambience and see, just with the ambience we get really cool results. So tweak the ambience, then go to shadows, open the shadows a little bit, and I will stop here. I will go and play with the curves just by adding contrast. I could add contrast over there, but I like to add it here like this. And I will add just a small, again, this bluish and reddish channel. Okay, and let me show you before and after, much better with just a few options before and after. We can go with this even further. We can add that drama again. That trick is to go with the filter all the way down, then boost the saturation a lot like this, and just add small amount of that filter. So this is before and after, much better look. So now you can add a tonal contrast if you want. So this is too much as default values. I will just do like this. Press OK. That's great. And now we can add this lens blur. So we can just move this lens blur right here and change the shape just to affect her. And then we can go with the transitions. So make the transition wider. That's basically like a feather. And then we can go and change the amount of the vignette if we want. So maybe like this. And blur strength. So we can make everything like crazy, but that's fake. So just a small amount, like 20 or so %, and press OK. And let me show you now, this is before and this is after. Really nice result, guys. Before and after. We did it really good. Okay, and now I'll show you another great trick, and that's how to add a bokeh effect to your photos to make them even more interesting. So let's find a proper photo for that. Let's use this one. And before I start messing with the colors and contrast, I just want to go straight to the tools and all the way down to double exposure. So here I want to go to the second icon from the left and click on that and choose any photo that I want to overlap with this one. So in this case, I will use this bokeh one. And now I can pinch and zoom, rotate, move left to right, position it wherever I want. So I'll put it right here. I think it's really nice. And I can change the blending mode from default, lighten, darken, add, subtract, and overlay. and add blending mode. It's really nice when you want to add some kind of lights effects like lens flares or this kind of bokeh effect, etc. But in this situation I will use lighten because I like it a little bit better, and then I can play with the opacity, so I can change that. I will put it something like here and press OK, and it's perfect, except the fact that a lot of this bokeh effect is covering the girl, so I don't want that. And now I will show you one really neat trick how to remove the bokeh effect from the part of the image that you don't want to be visible to. So to do that, let's go all the way up to this like undo kind of icon, press it and go to view edits. So go here and click on any kind of edits that you've done and that you want to change it. So in this case I want to change only one that we have, double exposure, and press on this middle icon, this edit icon, and that's it. Now we have a few options here. I will click on the second icon from the left to invert to see my bokeh effect, and then I can just paint with my finger like a brush and just remove the bokeh effect from the part of the girl that I don't want to be visible. So like this, and this is really good. Or I can change the arrows up and down and see, maybe I want to see only 25% of some effect. So this one right here, only 25%, or everything, or I can just delete everything here that I really don't want to see, or 100% of parts that I delete it right here, and maybe I don't like this, so I will delete this bright part. So this is it. I will press OK, and guys, this is really nice. This is before and after. Now I can go to tools, I can go to curves, I can play with some colors right here. So let's go to the blue and remove the blue from the shadows. Why not? Let's do opposite. Let's add some red, remove the red from the highlights. Just play with this however you want. So let me see with the blues like this, and I will press OK. So maybe I can add this drama again, so just remove the effect as we did it before, add saturation, then add a little bit of the effect, and that's it. So guys, this is before and this is after, completely different look. It can be colorized however you want, but this is it. You made image a lot more interesting than it was before. Alright guys, and that's it for today. I really hope that you liked this episode and that you learned some new tips and tricks that will help you to improve your Instagram feed or overall mobile photography. Let me know down there in the comments what do you think about editing on your phone, editing on the go, and what kind of app are you using for it? Is that a Snapseed or some other app? I would love to hear that from you. And of course you can edit on your tablets too. You just need to download Snapseed app on your tablets, and it's a little bit easier because it's a bigger screen, you can see the details better, etc. Alright, if you like this episode, press that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And ring that bell to get notified about all the future ones. Okay guys, experiment, have fun with the Snapseed app, and see you in the next fun episode. Bye bye.